Jeez, these mosquitoes are crazy. Jesus. Whew. Crazy mosquitoes. How's it going, guys? It's Josh here with Buckeye Bow Hunter, and today I am out here just putting some more arrows through my bow. It's September 27th, and bow season, the opener, is only, just over a month away here in Ohio. So got my bow all squared away, fleshed up some new arrows the other day, so I'm just seeing how those fly, and just kind of getting excited and making sure I'm comfortable with my bow. And speaking of shooting and deer season coming up, this video is going to be kind of a lesson that I learned that I want to show you guys. It's going to be a video from the past, a deer hunt that I filmed back in my college days. I believe it was like 2014. Kind of a good one. It was a really good, let me say, learning experience for me. It's pretty tough to go back and watch this stuff, especially when it didn't work out the way you expected it to or hoped it would. I make a bad shot on a deer and end up not finding it. But there's a lot of lessons that come with something like that happening to you in your hunting career, and hopefully by learning from my mistakes, especially new hunters, you guys don't have to repeat those mistakes. And with that said, I'm just gonna start the video now. As I make these mistakes or learn these lessons along the way, I'm just gonna kind of bring them up and talk about them as we go. Here we go. Hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna hunt as hard as I can this next month, and need to lay down some footage. So bucks are moving. I mean, I just saw it, and saw it the other night too. Another younger buck chasing does. So all we need is a big boy on his feet, and there are a couple big boys here. So I got 2 cameras out here on this farm that I need to check. So they've been out for a couple days. But I'm in the willow stand at the T-Rex farm. If you guys watched the last couple DVDs, I shot a buck 2 years ago in buckbound out of this tree at about 8 yards right behind me here. And that was October 31st. So this stand has always been really good during the rut. You can see a long ways, which I kind of like, because if you see a buck cruising, you might be able to get his attention. And out here, I can see over 100 yards in almost every direction except for behind me. So you never know what you're going to see in this stand. Now, here's a pretty easy lesson to learn. You should always be paying attention. If you're out there hunting and you're not paying attention, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And clearly right here, I was not paying attention. This deer snuck right up behind me, and I didn't even realize he was standing there until I locked eyes with him. And by that point, it was either shoot or film. And at this point in my career, I was obsessed with making sure I filmed everything, so I chose the camera over the bow. Not that I would have got a shot at him with a bow if I tried to, but at least I got some footage, I guess. This could have been totally avoided if I had just kept my head on a swivel and been paying attention. Honestly, I was probably on my phone or something, and that's how this deer snuck up on me. Bummer. It was a beautiful 3-year-old deer. Could have had a nice shot at him. I got this willow tree behind me that blocks everything. And I stand up, there's a little buck on the other side of this field I was watching. And I stand up and I hear something walking in these willows, and I turn around and I see him. So I hurry up and flip the camera around behind me, grab my bow, and he pops out from underneath the willow. And I'm trying to focus the camera, and as soon as I focus, I'm looking through the viewfinder, and he's looking right at me. Busted. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Yeah, I would have shot that deer. That was a nice deer. Last night, I set up a new stand on a different part of the T-Rex farm. I don't normally hunt over here, but the last couple of days I haven't been seeing much, so I figure why not move to a new location. The wind's actually really good for this spot too. I got a cut soybean field out in front of me and a real thick bedding area off to my right. The wind's coming straight out of this bedding area, blowing right in my face, so hopefully these bucks are going to be cruising down one side of this bedding area checking for does. There's all kinds of rubs, all kinds of scrapes right in here, all within the last couple of days, I think. High hopes, baby. It's the rut. It's happening right now. Bucks are cruising. bud penetration. Yeah. I gotta watch the video. It was a really high shot. I can't stop shaking. I was about, I don't know, 6 inches high of the sweet spot. He ducked my arrow, like, big time. And I don't know. I should have compensated for that. He was looking right at me. I need to find this deer. He was moving, so I'm gonna get down, I think, and walk over to the to where I hit him at. So this happened almost 7 years ago, and I still remember this this whole hunt to this day like it happened yesterday. And what happened was I learned a few things. I learned that self-filming is very hard. When I first had the encounter with this buck, you can see how I had, if I wasn't filming, multiple opportunities to shoot this deer as he was coming in, and before he got out too far. He gave me a couple opportunities at like 15, 20 yards, and he was staring straight at me. I had my hands on the camera. I hadn't drawn my bow back, so I was just kind of paralyzed in the tree. By the time I shot him, he was probably standing at 38, 40 yards, if I remember right, when I paced it off after I shot him. The arrow would have hit him perfectly had he not ducked, but he did duck the arrow. And to this day, I will always remember this lesson. Do not shoot at a wary or nervous deer that is staring straight at you. They're going to duck your arrow every time. And that's exactly what you see happens here. This arrow would have hit the deer absolutely perfect behind the shoulder if he hadn't ducked. But because he ducked, I hit him above the lungs, right in that no man's zone. I didn't hit his shoulder. I didn't hit his spine. It just kind of hit. There's a bunch of just muscle and fatty tissue up in there. But yeah, that's one of the big things that's kind of stuck with me through the years is when I'm shooting at a live white-tailed deer or a live animal. I want that animal to be as calm as possible. I want him to have no idea I'm there, especially shooting out past 30 yards. Like any further than 30 yards, then you have the, worry or the opportunity for a deer to duck your arrow or move after you pulled that trigger, thus wounding the animal or missing the animal. So inside 30 yards, I've never really had a problem with it. That arrow seems to be moving fast enough they can't get out of the way. I'm sure it depends on what you're shooting or how fast or slow your setup is, but for me, what I'm comfortable with, out past 30 yards, that animal has to be completely calm and have no idea I'm there. And I learned that lesson here the hard way.